Hi, I'm Michelle. Welcome back to Finally Revealed. In this video, I want to give you 10 tips for travel and one bonus tip for women. All right, you might want to get a piece of paper and write these down, or just watch through them, and then if one of them jumps out at you, go back and make a note later. Are you ready? First thing is to have a routine. Have a routine on the day that you travel, have a routine for the day that you return, have a routine for your packing, and have a routine for where you keep certain things. I have a couple of other videos that are coming out to specify and give you ideas for those routines. But have a routine, have that set so that you know what you're doing, and in particular where you keep certain things so that then you can count on it and you're not fumbling and running around looking for things that are lost. That's number one. The next one, this pertains to international travel with regard to your passport. For domestic travel in the U.S. or in your country, if you need to have picture ID, it would pertain to that picture ID, your driver's license, or similar ID. You want to keep that thing, that identification on your person while you are flying, especially when it's a longer flight. Now, on your person could include your purse or a pocket or something on you, or a closed compartment. What I really mean is don't put it somewhere in the pocket of the plane. This has happened to more than one friend of mine, and you don't want to go through the agony of trying to find that document later, because you're going to need it to get on any other transportation. So you want to keep that close. Don't even let it be a chance that it can be left somewhere. Keep it on you. The next one is for international flights. You need to reconfirm within 48 hours of your next flight. Things change, world events happen, storms, other mechanical issues, and depending upon the time of year, airlines change their routes. They change their schedules, and perhaps you booked something a long time ago. Now you're actually traveling and you're coming upon the deadline when that route is being changed. So reconfirm within 48 hours of your next flight, particularly internationally. Next thing is to check the airport. Many cities in the world have more than one airport. In the U.S., Dallas, we have Love Field, we have DFW. Houston has Bush and Houston Hobby. Want to identify the airport that you're going in and out of. Sometimes you'll be flying in one airport and out another. And if your flight is rerouted and you're landing in a particular city, double check to know which airport you're coming in and out of, so that if you have to be bussed off and then brought back for another flight, you remember what airport it was. So check the airport. Next, for domestic and international, check the terminal, and in particular in the U.S. A lot of international airports have a separate section, so you're going to have to pay attention to the section. But in the U.S., we have some terminals completely separate to make sure you're going to be in the correct terminal for your next flight. That leads me to the next thing, which is when you're coming back into the U.S., and this is probably the same in other countries. Let me know if it is or isn't in your country. When you are coming back from overseas and you are not landing in your home airport, you're going to have another domestic flight after you return internationally. Your first flight where you stop and get off the plane internationally in the U.S., you're going to have to go pick up your baggage, go through customs. Then you're going to have to recheck your bag for your domestic flight. Make sure you have enough time on your connecting flight to do that. In particular, if you are doing your own arrangements piecemeal and not all through one airline. So make sure you have enough time to get your bag, go through customs, recheck your bag, and get to your next flight. So pay attention to that. Then check time zones, and this is when you have more than one leg on a trip, or you're traveling around if you're coming in the U.S., we have daylight savings time that goes on in the spring and off in the fall, March and October. So the time is going to be different. The time on your ticket, remember, is the time at that location. We have multiple time zones in virtually all of our countries, unless it's a small one. So you need to pay attention to the time zone of where you are leaving from and arriving so that you don't miss your flight. And if you've got people picking you up, they are aware. So pay attention to that. Now these next few are practical things. I don't know if you've considered these or not. Maybe this has or hasn't happened to you. When you are going to be driving a car in another country different from yours, one thing you might want to check before you leave or ask someone, how are the road signs configured? In the US, when you're driving, the next street is at the top of the list. That is the next street that you're going to come to. For example, in some countries, it's at the bottom. For example, like if it was laying down, and it would be the next one that you come to. In the US, it's the top one on the sign is the next exit. So you want to check to see if where you're going to be driving is similar to what you're used to or if it's different, just so you don't waste a lot of time and get lost unnecessarily. The next thing is take a picture of your driver's license if you're flying domestically, at least in the US, and if you in your country, if you need a photo ID, do that as well. If internationally, take a picture of your passport. We just had this happen on a trip I was on where someone lost their wallet. Luckily it was found, but this was we were out on our trip, so they were going to have that ID to get back on the plane to return home, and they lost their wallet. The airline gave us this information. They said if you're able to use that to get on your next flight because it has your identifying information and your picture. So before you travel, get a copy of that so that you have it on your phone. I wouldn't necessarily keep it on your phone all the time if your phone is in a public area, because you don't want someone to use that and have identity theft. But before you travel, that would be a good idea to have something. Also, internationally, you should have a copy of your passport, a piece of paper somewhere in your luggage, in your person, on your pocket, in case it's lost, so that you can go to your consulate and get a reissue and get other travel documents so that you're not stranded. Those kind of go together. Now another thing, this is another one that happened through experience of another friend of mine, and it happened on a borrowed piece of luggage, but also you want to do this for your own. Put your name and the phone number that you have with you. If it's a cell number, if you're traveling with someone else, put their number. If you're going to be at someone's house, put their number. Want them to call the number where you are so that you can run back and get it. Especially when it's borrowed, go through and make sure that the owner's information is not on the bag, on the outside, on the inside, or anywhere, because if it's found, they're going to be contacted. They could be in a completely different country or city from you, and that's going to delay you getting your necessities. Put your information in your wallet, in your purse, in your laptop, in your iPad case, in those types of things. A little sticker somewhere right inside, your name and the phone number, okay? That could really help you if something's lost and found. For example, someone finds it in the bathroom, they can just call you right then. Include your country code if you're going to be traveling internationally. Then the next one I have is for the women. Bring a pareo, a pashmina. A pareo is lighter fabric usually. Pashmina you think of as a cashmere or heavier. But bring it with you. It will help you if you need a wrap for a dress. It will help you if you need a cover-up for a swimsuit. It can be made into a skirt. It can be made into a dress. It can keep you warm on the airplane. It can be your pillow on the airplane. And for tourist destinations, if you're traveling to different countries, religious sites, or other places where they have modesty rules, you can use it across. For example, Thailand, if you're going to the Big Buddha, you need to cover your shoulders. If you're going to the Vatican, you need to cover your knees. It's really a good thing to keep with you in your bag so that you can use it for a multitude of purposes. I hope these tips are helpful to you. If you have a travel tip that you'd like to share with us, it'd be great if you would leave a comment. If you want to see about our next videos, please subscribe. It really helps the videos shown so that if someone is interested or needs this information that we have in any of our videos, they're more likely to find it. And as always, you can follow us on Twitter or Facebook. I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks so much. Travel safely.